Good morning, everyone. Welcome again. It's so good to be here. Yes, another week has gone by. It's been up and down for many of us watching the news and seeing what's going on. But you know what? Two great things happened for me, and maybe for some other people felt the same. There's a holiday tomorrow, and we are honoring for Heroes Days all those who have continued to work through this pandemic. And also, the airports are opening up on July 1st, and anybody who knows me knows I like to travel. So I've already booked my flights and got everything sorted out. But don't worry, I'm going to tape my talks before I go, and you'll still hear my voice speaking to you. So thank you for being here with me each week as we move through this pandemic and change times. I know many of you have been watching all the demonstrations that are continue to go on, and the pandemic is still going on, and there's ups and downs in reporting of rises and lowerings in different areas. In Bermuda, we had a Justice for All, I believe it was, in Bars Park, and political happenings are happening all over the place, and a lot of feelings are going on. One day we feel good, one day we don't feel too good, and we're working our way through what has massively changed in our world. But we are resilient people. We keep on keeping on. We keep standing strong together. We're healing. We're shifting our ideas of how we're going forward. We're opening our hearts to more people. And there are so many great stories of faith and change taking place. And yes, there is hardship and violence and negativity as well. But that's what life is all about. You got all of it in there for your human beings in life. And I was reading Deuteronomy, which is an interesting one, and I found this from Deuteronomy 8:10. And if you know anything about the book of Deuteronomy, it's a series of farewell talks by Moses to the people, Hebrew people, as they prepare to end their years in the wilderness and claim their promised land. Doesn't that seem like what's going on for us? We would say people of color has been 400 years in the wilderness, and now we're saying farewell to that and working so that we go into the promised land. We become a part of this entire world where everybody is equal and being able to have access to equally to all things that are going on in this world. So keep praying and holding the faith and knowing that that is true for every one of us. So I'm going to read you Deuteronomy 8:10 and think of what it says. This entire commandment that I command you today, you must diligently observe, so that you may live and increase and go in and occupy the land that the Lord promised you on oath to your ancestors. Remember the long way that the Lord your God has led you these 40 years in the wilderness in order to humble you, testing you to know what was in your heart, whether or not you will keep his commandments. He humbled you by letting you hunger, then by feeding you with manna, with which neither you nor your ancestors were acquainted, in order to make you understand that one does not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of the Lord. Listen to those words, and if you get a chance, read it again and bring it into this world where we are now, and understand what we as people of color have gone through. And now we're fighting to get to that promised land. They talked about 40 years in the Bible. We're talking about 400 years. Look at all that synchronicity and all those things that tie us together. So we are working to get into that promised land, or free land, that we say is free, but it's not really free for all of us. Change is taking place. Yes, as I said, violence is going on as well. But to bring about change, a lot of things happen for people to stop and listen. So I'm going to play the song that you heard before called Flying on Faith, because we have to continue in faith to get where we truly want to be in this world and get to the promised land. So listen to this song again.
ahead and tiptoe through your life. Digging in the dirt, you can stress on the strife, but I'm gonna fly past the worry and the pain today. I'm flying on faith, flying on faith. I'm flying on faith, faith. You could cry all night about the things that you hate, so dissatisfied in so many ways, but I'm gonna find a way to celebrate today. I'm flying on faith, flying on faith. I'm flying on faith, flying on faith. Picked up my baggage and I threw it out the door. Not looking back, because the past is such a bore. I'm gonna stand with the moon, with the stars up in my face today. I'm flying on faith. I'm flying on faith. You could hurry full of worry, let the fear take you out. Imagining the worst overcome with doubt. There's no way to know, knowing is the only way today. Today, I'm flying on faith, flying on faith. I'm flying on faith, faith. Picked up my baggage and I threw it out the door. Not looking back, because the past is such a bore. I'm gonna stand with the moon, with the stars up in my face today. I'm flying on faith, flying on faith. I'm flying on faith, flying on faith. You could go ahead and tiptoe through your life, digging in the dirt. You can stress on the strife, but I'm gonna fly past the worry and the pain today. I'm flying on faith.
As we take those words, flying on faith, not being stuck in the past, let's open in prayer. Breathing in and out. Silence your mind to all that is going on outside of this moment. And rest in the presence of God and allow the energy of God to unfold you right here, right now, as you allow faith to infuse you. As we seek to take care of ourselves even more today and always. Breathe in that grace, that love, that peace of God that surrounds each and every one of us, even in the midst of this pandemic and the demonstrations and the pain and the suffering and the deaths and all of what's going on in our world. Understand with faith we'll get through it to get to that promised land, that place where all of us know, recognize the love of God and share kindness with each other. Share peace and love and let it reign through our hearts and through our minds. As we gather here, breathing in, we open our hearts even more to the power of God. As we shift our consciousness and see more clearly and let the light of God shine within us through our eyes to look out and know that change is taking place for the good. Feel it and know it and take those lessons that you learn as you sit in prayer and meditation and be guided for what it is for you to do. How are you to serve? How are you to care for the oppressed, the weak, the sick, and the shut in? Many of us have shifted and changed through this pandemic time, but we stand strong in God. And we open our hearts even more and we say, God, I am here. Use me, God. Use me to help to serve, to love, to care, and with kindness to persevere through all that is happening, to heal those who are sick with the pandemic or anything else, to shift the conscience of those who only see hate and fear, to open my heart, God, and all hearts, to know that we are one, and let freedom rise for each and every one of us. And it's not about color of the skin, but knowing that we are one with God, knowing that Jesus walked in this earth for each and every one of us, and he was a man of color. So we bless the Floyd family that woke us up again, the impetus for a new awakening. And we know, God, that as we awaken each day, we have a choice to step out in love and peace, to step out with a new awakening, to step out in love. So I bless each and every one of you. Let healing take place for those who need healing, for love to reign in the hearts of those who are fearful, and to release the pain and suffering of all people. For we are one in God, all God's children. As we breathe in again, we say amen, amen. So are you flying on faith? How are you doing? I saw I said, how are you doing? And then I saw this saying, how you doing? And it's from Friends. A lot of people watch the TV show called Friends, which is a great thing about many of us who are friends. And Joey always says, how you doing? So how are you doing with everything that's going on? I know many of us are going up and down in emotions. I have as well. What are you doing to get through this? I've talked about persevering and getting energized and being curious about what's going on in our lives, and to let hope spring forth in your life. But really, what are you doing and how are you doing? The theme for the Unity this month of June is well-being, which is perfect because the world is starting to open its doors. And how are we doing? Are we fearful of staying home? Are we fearful? Are we staying home because it feels better for us? Are we taking care of ourselves at home? Are we taking care of ourselves when we're stepping out into the world? The affirmation for this month is, my heart knows well-being no matter the circumstances. My heart knows well-being no matter the circumstances. And today I'm going to talk and focus about self-care. If you saw the ad that I posted this week, it was about self-care, and that's why I'm asking you, how are you doing? And I'm going to give you some ideas. Some of them are from that the ad, and some I've added to. And it was wonderful as I looked through all my notes on my computer, and I found from 2023 affirmations by Reverend Paulette Pipe from her spiritual self-care retreat she did in Bermuda. And I think they tie in nicely. So I'm going to read some affirmation, and if you want me to send them to you, send me an email and I'll let you know. Or you can try to write them down. But I'm going to share these affirmations as I talk about different ways in which you can take care of yourself through all that's going on in this world. So the first one that we're going to talk about on our self-care checklist is, are you moving your body? This is a physical part of you. Are you taking care of your body and moving? Our bodies are meant to be moving and sharing and doing things, not just sitting on a couch and eating and doing things like that. We are meant to move. Otherwise, and you'll find out as you get older, that things stiffen up very quickly. Are you moving? Are you getting out, going for walks? There's a lady next door to me. She's an older woman, and she just walks the driveway. Now, I find that boring, but she's doing what needs to be done for her body and healing of her body. Get up, move, walk around your house, go for a walk. If you can, whatever form of exercise works for you, do it. Do a tape, watch TV with somebody moving. But that's one of, I say, important parts of how we keep ourselves sane, because they say exercise brings up the morphines or whatever the word is and helps us to shift our mindset so that we feel better. So we're going to affirm, I enjoy how the mind and body strengthen every fiber of my being and peace in my soul. Say it again. I enjoy how the mind and body strengthen every fiber of my being and peace in my soul. Next one is emotional. How are you feeling today? Are you honoring the thoughts that are going through your mind and how you're feeling today? What are you doing emotionally to get through everything that's going on? What's in your thoughts? We call them monkey minds because all these things are going on in our minds. And I say be curious, but watch how you're thinking. Are there negative thoughts? Are there positive thoughts? Honor how you're feeling today and each day. And sometimes there are negative thoughts, but learn to shift those thoughts to the positive. When you see all these things in the news and they hit your soul, turn around and read something positive that's uplifting. So how are you feeling today? So we affirm, I am radiantly alive, healthy and strong. I express vitality now. So are you radiantly alive and expressing vitality now? So hold those thoughts in your mind as you go through these days. Number 3 on my checklist is spiritual. What are you doing for your soul? For me, it's praying and meditating. And in the unity movement, those are key aspects of what we are all about. Because those gets to get into the nitty-gritty of what's going on in our mind, silence it for a while, and change our perspective and come out with a more positive outlook. And yes, even for ministers and us, it's tough in this environment that's going on. But do something good for your soul. Take time to just be, step away from the news, your phones, your TVs and all those. Go outside and breathe the fresh air. The weather's been beautiful in Bermuda. Pray and affirm, I am worthwhile and deserving. I allow myself to be fulfilled. I am worthwhile and deserving. I allow myself to be fulfilled. You are worthy. You are wonderful. You are great. No matter what anyone else says, you are all of those things. So allow yourself to be fulfilled in the Spirit of God. Next one. What are you doing? They call it personal on that sheet. What are you doing in your time at home? Some of you aren't working yet. I've worked the entire time. Are you eating right? Are you doing a hobby? Are you doing things around your house that you've never done before? I see a lot of people doing puzzles that they haven't done, or doing more things with their children, or me, I'm trying more at recipes because, so while working at home, I can do things at night and I can do some cooking, more cooking during the day and trying different things. What are you doing to make yourself feel better? Eat well, eat more fruits and vegetables and all those things. Take care of yourself. Take care of the inner self. And what are you putting in your body to keep you strong? And so we affirm for this one, Christ within me is my life. My body temple is filled with vitality, vigor, and strength. I am balanced, whole, and perfect in every way. Think about that. When you do all of these things and take care of yourself, you are balanced, whole, and perfect in every way. Know that to be true in your life and who you are. Claim the goodness that you are. You are a child of God. The next one is socially. What are you doing? We're out and about more. Many people may have chosen to stay home. I know we haven't opened up our church, and many churches haven't opened even though we're in phase 3. But we can socially get together. In Bermuda, you can have 20 people together now. Quality time we can spend keeping the distance with the mask on. Quality time with people. And if you're in the U.S., spend more time talking to people in other parts of the world. With technology is wonderful in that aspect. How social are you? Because knowing people, feeling people, and being in contact with other people around lifts our spirit. And that's why it's been so hard for many of us to be at home and away from co-workers, friends, and family. We still miss the hugs, but that time will come. So let's affirm, I am balanced and poised and consciously one with spirit. You're one with spirit, one with all people. You are balanced, you are poised, and you are ready to take on the world and do what needs to be done as it shifts and changes. Another one, and I think it's great even with the technology, is also are you cleaning and organized? And that's self-care, because we know we all have a junk drawer. We always have that room where we just stuffed all these things in. Have we cleared them out while we've been home? It's amazing how much weight is taken off when you clean up something that you know it's been there. When you were working all the time, you didn't have time and things were all over the place. Take the time to clean up those, not just junk drawer, but junk rooms, junk closets, all of those things. Get rid of things that you don't really need that are holding you back. And there's a show that's coming on, Clear My Mess, I think it is. And the ladies from HGTV are, and it's virtual. They're on their iPads and stuff, and they're walking them through clearing up things. So we affirm here, God leads me in the way of righteousness. I become the person I truly want to be. God leads you and guides you in the way that you're meant to become the person you truly are. Wonderful, beautiful, free, and a wonderful expression of God. Another one, are you treating yourself well? Are you pampering yourself? You have time to get your nails done. If you can't afford to do it at home, I'm sure most of you have something at home to do it. They don't have to be painted, but they can be clean. And that's a good part of being well during this pandemic, is making sure your hands are clean and your nails are clean and filing them, doing all this thing. Me, I was so excited. I mentioned last week I got a pedicure, because that's my one thing I love to get done, is pampering myself. Take care of your whole self. Pamper yourself. As we affirm, I am worthwhile and deserving. I am worthwhile and deserving. I allow myself to be fulfilled. You are worthwhile and deserving of all things. You are all, each and every one of us, childs of God. And as we persevere through the Black Lives Matter and all of the things to bring about that change, to fulfill the promise that God has for each and every one of us, remember that. You are worthwhile and deserving in every way. And the last one I'm going to give you for self-care is rest. And I talked about in the Daily Word yesterday about knowing that rest is not just a luxury, it's something that we really need. It's an essential part of our health care to get a deep, peaceful rest. And if you can't sleep, read something inspiring or write something, so that we enter into that slumberland and that place of quietness where you breathe the oneness of God, and each breath you take is a breath of God, releasing all concerns, and allow yourself to rest deeply. And I close with this last affirmation that I found, and I'm not going to pronounce the guy's name because I don't want to mess it up. It says, Heavenly Father, charge my body with thy vitality, charge my mind with thy spiritual power, charge my soul with thy joy. So with all of these, allow God to empower your mind, your body, your spirit, and fill it with joy. So how are you doing today and every day? Are you taking care of yourself? Are you flying on faith and allowing faith to reign? So before we close, I'm going to read the daily word, and we'll do a short meditation. And it's entitled Divine Order, because all of this is in divine order. The good, the bad, and the ugly, it's all in divine order. God is in the midst of this as we listen to this. And we affirm first, divine order is always unfolded in my life and in the world. As spring ripens into summer each year, new leaves transform bare trees into canopies of green. Tiny seedlings grow into sturdy plants and decorate the landscape with an array of colorful blossoms. Marvel at the divine order demonstrated as the earth reveals itself. Recognize that even as the earth appeared barren in the wintertime, new life was preparing to spring forth. Notice this pattern in your life. May it be demonstrating visible, I would say, spiritual growth in your life. Like the earth in the winter, it may seem that your life was stagnant and barren, but remember that the seasons of nature change, so do the seasons of your life. Even when it's not apparent to you, know that divine order is always unfolded in your life and in the world. And Mark 4:28 says, the earth produces of itself first the stalk, then the head, then the full grain in the head. So how are you doing? We've talked about taking care of ourselves. We've talked about keeping the faith. We've talked about all these wonderful ways in which we can take care of ourselves. So let's take a few moments and breathe in the wonders of God just for a few moments as we meditate. Breathing in, remembering to take care of yourself. Remember that the promised land is here, it's shifting and changing, and it's getting better. Release the negative thoughts and look at all the good that is within you right now and continues to manifest in your life. Open your hearts. Fly in faith. For you are a child of God. As we affirm, I am never discouraged. Fortified by God's Spirit in the midst of me, I press forward in faith. Breathe. Let's take another deep breath in as I say the affirmation again. I am never discouraged. Fortified by God's Spirit in the midst of me, I press forward in faith. So I bless each and every one of you. I know God is enfolding you with His power and protecting you and working, watching over you. And I behold the Christ in you. Namaste until we meet again.